Oh, there you go. You can click none.
Hey, friends. Hey, Greg, how are you? Peace, love, and muscles. Hope you're having an awesome day. Dino, how are you guys? Love the hat and glasses. I just wanted to start this off with a little bit of comic relief and just wait till everybody came on, and then I'm going to try to get rid of the glasses, and I'll just cover a few bodybuilding topics. Ali, doing great. How are you? I'm good, Dino. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Peace, love, and muscles, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome Saturday. Mrs. Costa is probably going to walk in a little bit. She's at the supermarket. Looks like Sinatra. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse also today. All right, guys? Bob, how are you? Saturday's going great, Greg. Greg, I'm sure you're probably going to the theater tonight. Or you've been to the theater. Zafar, nice to see you. Peace, love, and muscles, guys. They actually say the worst time to do videos and upload things is on Saturdays and Sundays. But I figured, what the heck? We'll do a Facebook Live, talk a little bit about bodybuilding topics, share with you guys a personal story, and one of the reasons that I think you should always do checkups and go to the doctors. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Hey, gents. Peace, love, and muscles. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Excuse me. First topic is micromanaging your body and the mirror. A lot of people are sending me photographs and say, hey, Vic, I have a body imbalance. I'm sort of out of balance with my body. And then they send the video or they send the picture, and there's this subtle, tiny difference. I've got a picture of a guy that I'll do a video on later on that he sent to me. His head is not in the picture, so it won't reveal his identity, but I'll show you what some of the differences look like that are so tiny and minor, but they appear so big to you because you see yourself every day, and a lot of times you simply focus on the flaws that you have or the perceived flaws that you have. But to the rest of the world, we are not recognizing it as such. And when I tell you some of the pictures that I'm getting look really, really great, you guys are doing a great job, but they look almost so symmetrical that you're trying to find something wrong with your physique. You're trying to micromanage your physique. So people say to me all the time, Vic, how do you correct those imbalances? And what I always say is, most people who notice the imbalances very early on in their bodybuilding and fitness training. As you progress and as everything progresses and develops, you tend to not notice the differences as much in body parts because I'll give you an example. Let's say that a body part is off by 1 inch, which by the way is quite a bit. And we're talking about on a 10-inch body part. I know this is a little goofy, but let's say it's an inch on a 10-inch body part. So that's 10% difference. But if everything were to grow, the difference would probably remain the same, but the body part would grow, so it would be proportionately a smaller difference. You follow? So that's why you notice things in the beginning. But a lot of times, people are maybe just, there's a difference visually, but there really isn't a difference. It's just that you're not connected to that body part enough, so you're not flexing it and connecting to it the same way. So I've noticed it a lot on lat spread pictures you guys send me, that it looks like there's a difference. But it also is, you might not be connected to that side of your body and you're able to show it as much. In other words, there's really not a difference. It's just your posture or how you're presenting your body is probably more like it. Because I can tell by the way that the pictures look that it's more of a postural thing than it is a development thing. So two things with that. You're either not connected to that body part and able to flex it like the other side, or you're just in the beginning of your bodybuilding careers or fitness, experience, and you're noticing the difference because everything is really not developed yet. And as it gets more developed, that difference will become a smaller percentage of the overall body part. I hope that makes some sense to you. Also, I wanted to touch base with you guys. I had something happen to me that was pretty remarkable and changed my life recently. I had a test, a health test, and I had a health scare. The physician that took a test told me that there was probably a very, very good chance that I had something wrong with me, and it turned out to be it was a false read on a test. And I know that how I take care of myself and how healthy I am, but receiving news that there might be something wrong was a real eye-opener. And it just made me want to cherish my life more. It made me want to thank you more, dive into the things that I'm doing even more. But while I was going through that, I had to take a 4-day break in between the examination and the results for the examination. And so during that 4 days, I was really, really stressed. But I was walking around and I found something in the street that told me that I was going to be okay. And I believe in stuff like this. And this is it. It's a brass ring. And I don't know if you guys know what a brass ring really symbolizes. A brass ring was usually used by a carnival operator. So somebody who's operating a merry-go-round would put this little brass ring on a hook. And as you were on the merry-go-round, if you could reach off your horse and grab the brass ring, you would get another shot at riding the merry-go-round for free. And when I found this brass ring on the floor or in the street, I knew that I was going to have another round. And there's something inside of me told me that I was going to be fine, and I was. And so my wife was nervous. We were all stressed, and she said, you do everything for your body right. You're going to be rewarded. You're going to be rewarded. And so I caught this brass ring. I've been wearing it ever since. And it was just sort of, to me, a really comforting sign that things were going to be okay for me, and I am. So I'm going to dive into the things that I'm doing more. Part of this video is to encourage you to dive into things more, enjoy your life, make the most of every minute, tell people that that you love them. Don't be afraid to do that, and really dive into the things that you're doing, because it reminded me that time is very, very precious. What else? So we covered the body part differences. We covered trying to micromanage the small stuff, which you don't want to do. Focus on the bigger picture. You guys there? I hope you are. So try this again. All right. And that's it. And try to really focus on doing the right things for your health. And that way you don't have to worry. So part of me knew that I was going to be okay either way. I've got a tremendous support network. I've got you guys to rely on. But I didn't want anything to derail the momentum of what I have going on. And finding the brass ring really helped. So for me, that was a beautiful sign that things were going to be fine. So it made me want to give more of myself, of my time, and just dive into the things that I'm already doing a little bit more. Since we're on the touchy-feely topics and the signs of things, I want to tell you guys a story that I actually put in my Daily Lift blog, and not everybody's been watching that or reading it, so I wanted to put it out there too. The importance and the power of visualizing the life that you want to create. And visualization is a very, very, very powerful thing. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an illustration of just how powerful it is, or how I've come to believe it's so powerful. I pulled my car out of the garage, and when I pulled it out of the garage, I noticed a scratch on the car. So I was already still in the garage, and then I pulled the car out into the street, and I noticed, after calling the garage operator over, I said, come on over here and look at this scratch. And he goes, I don't see a scratch. Pull it out into the light. So I pulled the car out into the light, and there wasn't a scratch on the car. The scratch that I had noticed just seconds before was not there anymore. Fast forward about an hour, I'm in a suburban town, and it's one of those cities and towns where the train goes through the middle of the city. It goes right through Main Street. And I somehow, from all of the traffic at that time of night, got caught on the tracks. So I had to drive my car onto some gravel, and as I did so, I hit the trestle that was coming down. And then I pulled into a parking lot or a supermarket, and I took a look at my car, and the scratch that was there that I noticed, the scratch that I noticed earlier, an hour prior in the garage, was now there on the side of my car. So that's pretty, to me, there's no coincidence in that. It's not really attenuated. And so it reminded me to remind you guys about visualization and how important visualization is. And I dovetail that into, people have said to me, how do you look like, how do you aspire to look like Hulk Hogan when all you see is Pee Wee Herman in the mirror? And I use that because that was someone's exact words. And my response was, you have to see Hulk Hogan in the mirror. You can't continuously see Pee Wee Herman in the mirror. You have to see Hulk Hogan if that's what you want. You have to fantasize, because that's all part of this, right? Bodybuilding is sort of, everything we're doing is sort of kind of for the future, right? Because you know that you're not going to see the gains as you walk out the door of the gym. So everything about it has a hint of the future and progress moving forward, or a little bit of tomorrow. So I think that when you approach it with that strong sense of visualization, that strong sense of understanding where it is that you want to take this, so the energy has somewhere to go. You know, if I don't have that piece of this, that fantasy piece of this, or that idea of where I want to take this, the energy kind of gets stuck in the body as compared to having a destination. It would be like working without a particular goal in mind. Do you know what I mean? And so I think that that's important to have, the combination of the visualization of how you want your body to look, and a combination of the goal, so the energy and all the work has some place to kind of go and progress. Okay? Just want to try this one. Okay. All right, no, I don't like this one. This is better. I like it. This is more me. I mean, this is me. I grew up in the West Village in New York City, so this is more me. Hanging out at Washington Square Park in the late 70s. This is more me. But anyway, so it's Facebook Live. You never know what you're going to get. But I want to thank you guys for all the support. I'm going to show a video later on of the guy who sent me the video, or the picture of him with what he believed to be asymmetrical body parts. And that's it. The other thing is, I want to remind you guys that someone said to me one time, it was a very good trainer. This guy really knew what he was doing. I was much younger at the time, and he said to me, you want to have the last thing that you lift in the gym to be the heaviest thing. You want your mind to have this imprint and understanding that you lifted something heavy. And he said that sort of memory was really sort of important in how he progressed. He didn't want to have the last thing that he lifted be the lightest thing that he lifted for that day. So why don't you try that too? Try it, because it's helped me. I remember that from him, and I've tried it. And every now and then, like I said, I go to the heavy weights, even some of the weights that I really can't use very, very well, just to get a feel for them, because you can't make the leap of just using 20s to the 50s if you don't touch them and feel them and know what they look like. I've even joked before that you have to just hang around them and absorb the energy from them and smell them and sniff them and lick them and touch them or whatever. Just kind of get your hands on those weights so that you feel that when you attack them, and it's not like a foreign thing, you know, that you kind of have some familiarity with it, even if it's just how they feel when you pull them off the rack. So that's another little tidbit for today. And that's it. So I got another round on the merry-go-round. I'm going to make the most of that. You guys aren't going to scrutinize your body and micromanage things as much as possible. You're going to let the last thing that you lift in the gym be the heaviest thing, and you're going to enjoy your lives. You're going to say, I love you to the people that you love. Don't hold back, because that's strength. This fitness stuff is not really, or the bodybuilding stuff, you think that's strength. That's not strength. The strength is all inside, right? I mean, I've seen people who never went to the gym in their lives, like my mother, have strength, right? And that's the kind of strength, that's the true strength that you really want. So you want your body to match that, right? You want to have the strength inside, and you want to have the strength outside. You want the two things to be in concert, okay? So What else can I say? Peace, love, and muscles. I hope you have a great weekend. And thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Be well.